down. So we got those two right there. Okay. Stroke weight we'll cover later on. But if you do want to jump the gun a little bit, go for it. I'm not gonna sue you. In fact, I encourage you to move forward. So we're covering the graph, right? Now we're gonna go with simple shapes. We got point, line, rectangle, and ellipse. We're gonna cover just those. And triangle. Why not triangle too? So we already covered point, and that's pretty much what it is, the point. Let's look at a rectangle. To write rectangle, you just write rect, R-E-C-T, and then I'm just going to go 100 by 100, which is 100 out, 100 down, and let's see what happens here. Oh, wait, hold on. So we got an error, which is good, right? These first 2 points are going to determine where that rectangle is going to sit. The next 2 points are going to tell you its width and its height. So let's say I want a width of 10 and a height of 10. And if you know anything about mathematics, you know that this is a square. The sides are the same. Bam. I could make it more of a rectangle if I want. I'm just saying, hey, let me get a 30. What do you think about that? How you like it now? Boom. It's going to look like Pong almost. Anyways, so let's go to a line. Let's make a line. And I want my line to go from this point right here and all the way across. So I know that the positive values go down. And you remember the first coordinate's always the x, second coordinate's the y. X and y, x and y, x and y. So my first coordinate in my x is going to be 0, because I'm not really going anywhere. But I'm going to go all the way down. I'll go 200. I'll go all the way down, right? The definition of a line is 2 points, right? You need two points to make a line. That's the definition of a line, 2 points. Well, let's make those 2 points. So this one is going to go all the way across. This is going to be my second point, which is 200. And 0, because I'm not really going up or down, as I stay in the same spot. And I want this line to cut right across. Shiggity swag. Let's hit that. Compile. Boom. There it is. And if you start to notice, that stroke weight is playing for all this. Because remember, it's running. Everybody's trying to figure out, what's going on? If I wanted to change that, and I said, hey, that stroke weight's annoying right now. It's huge. I can just go ahead and say stroke weight of 1, and then you'll see that change. Bam. That'll also probably change if I went over here and added the stroke weight to the rectangle too. Let's do that. Okay. And we'll just go ahead and do stroke weight. And I can't write right now because I'm not gonna lie, I'm holding a cigarette to smoke. It is cute. And we'll do a stroke weight of, well, how about we just do nothing? You know what I mean? And boom. There it is. There is no stroke weight. Notice how it's just empty? That our stroke weight was so thick that it actually filled the rectangle. But we'll get into fill later on because that's actually something too. So we got our points. We got our points. We got a rectangle. We got our line. Let's make it a circle of life. So we got ellipse. The ellipse, I'm just going to replace right here. Replace in this area. And if 100 is right where this rectangle is, right here, I'm just going to go 50-50. Right? So 50, that's my x and y. Now I have to give it a radius. Okay? I have to give it a radius. And I'm going to make this one 10 by 10. And we'll get a circle. 10 by 10. If I wanted more of an ellipse, I can do the 30, just like I did with the rectangle, and swag, look at that. Bam. And you know what? Let's make this hefty. Make it look like some of these girls on the east side of San Jose. Hefty. Bam. There it is. So now we got that, and we're going to add one more, which is triangle. There are other shapes that I'm not covering, but I'm not covering them just because those, I'm not going to say that they're that advanced, but this is like a first like introduction to like processing and just kind of getting your feet wet with the programming language. So we're going to go ahead and just make a basic triangle. Now, you remember with a triangle, it's got 3 points. All right. It's not like we can just take a rectangle and cut it in half. And maybe we could, but that's for later on. But we got a function that builds a triangle. Let's get our 3 points in. I want to put it here. I want to put it in this area. So I know this is 100 by 100. The middle point's 150. And if I go down a little bit further, maybe 175. So I'll be working between 100 and 150 and 175. No, wait. Yeah, I'll be working with 100 and 150, not 175. So 100 and 150. And then my horizontal, this is 100. This is about 150. I'll work from like 150 to 175 on the base of the triangle. So we'll go ahead and we'll build the first point. And it doesn't really matter where you arrange your X and Y points. You're going to need 3 sets of X and Y points. It doesn't really matter because it's just going to connect them anyways. So it doesn't matter what comes first, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? If you went ahead and said, I want to put a point here first and here, or I'm going to start here, here, and here, it doesn't matter. It's going to read it the same. As long as you have those 3 points, you know, your money. So I'm going to do my first point, which is going to be the horizontal is going to be 150, and the vertical is going to be 100, right? The next point, I'm going to make it less by 125 on the horizontal, all right? So I'll make it 125, so I'm making it less by 25, and I'm going to go down to 125, right? And then my next set is going to be 175, which is out another 25 from the 150, and then 125. And if I run that, it's going to be a nice little triangle sitting in that corner. Oh, don't use that. Don't use that one. And if everything works out well, boom, there it is. That's what I wanted. So cool. I got my point. I got my ellipse, rectangle, line, triangle, another point. I made my background white. You learned a little bit about stroke weight. We're jumping the gun a little bit, but it's all right. You know what I mean? So we understand shapes now. We get an idea of how to make shapes. Oh, cool. We made shapes. Yay. So making the shapes is kind of like your hello world. You know what I mean? And we'll get into more of the printing hello world to the screen later on. But now let's talk about this great grayscale color. And remember how I mentioned to you earlier with the red, green, blue values, they range from 0 to 255. If you don't add, if your values are not different in the red, green, and blue, which means that if your value is 1, 1, and 1, you could just use one number, and it'll go ahead and propagate to those other values. You're pretty much telling processing that, listen, this is going to be my value for all 3, this one number. And so understanding that the lowest number is always darker, the highest number is always lighter. And so by following that, let's go ahead and start messing with the colors of this. And you're going to learn a thing called fill. And what does fill do? It fills it up with colors. We're going to fill up these points, and I'm going to fill up these points with a gray. Right? I'll go down to my rectangle. I'm going to fill up my rectangle with a black. Right? So we'll say fill black. All right? And then I'm going to go down to my line, and I'm going to fill that with a not so gray and a not so black. We'll just say that it's between 0 and 128. Would that be like 75, I think? I'm just using a little rough estimate here. Don't get all nerdy on me. Don't worry about it. And then for the ellipse, I'll go a little bit up on that and say that this fill is going to be more closer to the lighter colors. We're going to say that's 175. Look at me. What's wrong with me? And then with the triangle, we'll go up to an even lighter color. We'll go to 200. Remember, the max number is 255. And let's just run it. You get different grayscales. Look at that. Look at that. You know, and because our stroke weight is big on the points, they're turning black, right? You know how we change that? Stroke. Change the stroke. And boom, they're gray now. In fact, we changed the stroke on everything. If you notice, everything is kind of gray now. So stroke is used for points and lines. So let's go ahead and change the line too. We'll change that to a stroke. Boom. And that's got a little darker, as you see. That's a 75. You know what I mean? The ellipse, that's about correct, a 175. 200 because it's lighter. You know what I mean? And then our background, of course, is 255. It's white. Let's cover color now. Remember, we have the red, green, and blue. We've got those three values. Let's make some color. Let's play around with this. So let's go with the color selector now. All right. And I'm just going to make some annoying colors. Well, I won't. I like making nice colors. I'm not going to lie. I'm really particular about that. I really enjoy a nice colored, you know, beautiful, comfortable colors. And I'm going to pick this blue. It's nice. Some people say it's a Microsoft blue. I call it's a nice blue. Because it'd be something that I wouldn't mind drinking if I was on an alien planet. So here's the background. We're going to use that. Let's run it, and let's see if we change the background. Shaboom. Look at that. And we did it. So let's go ahead and change everything else, right? We're going to change the stroke on this. I'm going to make the stroke yellow. But I'm not going to use an annoying yellow. I'm going to use like a really cool yellow. That would be acceptable by the hipsters. You hipsters, you jokes. All right, so we go ahead and we'll change that. 199, 222, and 72. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and change the fill on my rectangle. And make this look red. Really nice red, though. It's really like a nice, sexy Erykah Badu red. Yeah, right there. It's like more of like a Niner red. It's still a winning combination, a very winning organization. Can't say nothing about a team that's won 5 Super Bowls. All right, and then so now we're going to go ahead over to the stroke on this line. We'll make this one green, but again, remember, we're picking greens that we would actually wear, at least with a tie. You know what I mean? I know about that lime green stuff. You know what I mean? This is like not 1992 in a Spike Lee movie. So, and then we'll go work on this ellipse here. Change the fill on that with the orange. Like that. I like that right there. That actually looks pretty cool. As you notice that I'm more of, you started to probably pick up that I'm more into these, I don't want to say dull, but more flat colors. I really don't need anything screaming out in my face. You know what I mean? If I turn off the lights, it shouldn't have to like be piercing into my soul. It should just be able to comfortably, oh, that's cool. And, you know, and I'll go with the pink. You know what I mean? For the letters. And I actually hope more women get into programming because I think it's beneficial. I really believe that women would make better programmers than men do, just because like you guys have better perspective on just things around you. You guys are I think they would make very naturally great programmers. Like a lot of men think, oh well, you know, mathematics, you have to know that, and I'm like, no, just women know. Women are crafty. People don't give them enough credit. Women are crafty as hell. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you this because, and my mom, she was a very typical housewife. She went ahead and, you know, cooked food, cleaned the house. You know what I mean? At least typical housewife of that era. I don't know about now. Women couldn't cook you a hot pocket if they wanted to. But